up in the islands,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always saw rain being collected from the roof in the islands when I grew up. They collected the water in something that's called a drum or barrel. They used to put liquor in those barrels on this oil barrels.
Okay.
But my grandparents would collect those barrels and they would clean out the barrels and stuff, and they would use the barrels outside, and they call it galvanage. Galvanage is a certain type of, they use it in the islands. You wouldn't see it here in America, but in the Caribbean and so forth, you would see a galvanage on the roofs, metal on the roofs, and that's what they use for their roofing.
Okay.
But they would take one galvanage and put it into one of the barrels, and when the water falls, it falls in that galvanage and would go into the barrels. We took showers with it.
Okay.
We bathed with it and so forth. But after I left there, we got water running and stuff. This was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was the early 80s, 70s. This is when they did that. So when I visited Africa, I noticed there was a lack of water. Because I was at a spot there. I spent some time in Ghana, and there was no water for like 2 weeks. When it rains, electric goes, internet goes, it rains. When it rains there, it rains like a storm in Africa. So when it rains sometimes, and if it continues raining sometimes, people don't have water sometimes. If they have the piping system going to their homes. So they will have to figure out ways to get water, either go buy water, or they might have to either go to another village or go distances to get water, right? And sometimes even though they go distances, the water might not be clean, right? But they need it, so might drink it. But while I was there, the water came back. So we went out to get water from the pipes. I opened up the pipes. Guess what came out of the pipes?
What?
Muddy water. So even the water that's ran the pipes are not filtered properly. So I was like, you know what? I said, man, I need to find out a way to filter water for these people. And I went there in December. Then in February, I believe, I don't know if it was the last time I went, the Most High just told me, use the concept of rainwater. And I was trying to figure out, well, how will I be able to do that? Because I don't know nothing about filtering water and that stuff. So I sat down and I said, you know what, I'm going to just brainstorm on this. Figure out, I said, okay, I looked it up. I saw online there's a way to filter stuff, but I don't know how to get it into a format from the roof to tanks. So I was just brainstorming. And something said you do the charcoal, rocks, and sand. But I was like, okay, well, how am I going to filter charcoal? How am I going to make a filter? How am I going to come up with a filter? So I just kept on thinking, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go and look up PVC pipes. I said, because when it comes down from the roof, it comes down from a gutter. I could put it into PVC pipes and probably use it that way. So I said, you know what? And I'm in the middle of Africa, okay? There's no Home Depots there. No Home Depots. I'm in the middle of, people say a jungle, but I'm in the middle of a place where there's no Home Depot. They have small hardwares there, but not as accessible as we have it. So you might have to go one place and get some PVC, but then, of course, you need rocks and sand. I'm like, where am I gonna get the sand? Because it's not any type of sand you need. You need a special type of sand for this. You need a sand that's grind down like miniature rocks. So you just don't go outside. Some people probably go outside and get the mud. You can't do that. You need sand. So I was trying to figure out how to get the sand, how to get the charcoal, how to get the certain type of rocks. I had to figure all that out in about 2 weeks. And I kept on reaching out to people who lived there where I could find some sand. I said, well, you gotta go to the beach. It's like, well, then we gotta take a trip to the beach. You see how I'm really, and I'm actually helping my moms and them be building a house there too. So I'm building a house, working labor during the day, but still trying to focus on doing this project. And the Most High just gave it to me. He told me to go by a river. He told me there's a river. I went by a river and saw some sand, but the sand was dirty. But the Most High said, that's the sand. I picked up we actually got a guy who lived in that area and paid him money to collect for us a bucket of sand to start off with. Because he's familiar with the area. He knows how to jump over the river and go get the sand. I paid him money to go back, get me a bucket of sand. And when we got a bucket of sand, my stepdad and them had some extra charcoal at the house. And they gave me the charcoal. That was burnt wood, treated special wood.
Okay.
That's already been preserved and burnt in fire. The rocks, they had some rocks sitting outside they were about to do work with. I used those rocks. But I actually want to perfect it with different types of rocks, but just rocks from now on. I put it together. I got me the PVC piping. I got me some PVC glue, and I got the netting and stuff, and just brainstorming to put a filter together. And I bought all the PVC pipings and all the locking systems, all the joints. There's certain joints you have to get. Some places didn't have the joints. Some places had joints. I had to run around to find this, to do my prototype, you know? And I finally put it together. Some stuff we had to heat up with fire to stretch it, to make it fit to a certain size. So it wasn't easy. But overall, we did it. We figured it out, and before I left Ghana, I did a filtration system with those rocks, the sand, and then I had to purchase a netting. I went to one of the little hardware stores, and this lady was there, and she had this netting, and it's been there like no one would buy the netting, right, in Africa, right? So I pulled up, I said, ma'am, it's like fishnet, fishnet. That's so the sand can't go through. I have to put something in the sand that will hold the sand and the water will be able to run through. See? So I needed something like a net. Fishnet. So she had some fishnet there. I pulled up, say, hey, how you doing? She's like, yeah. I said, okay, I need some of this netting. How much is it? She gave me a price. And I said, well, I'll buy the whole roll. She looked at me like I just made her rich. Yeah, so I purchased that from her, and she left, man. She had the most widest grin on her face and smile because you're getting to help the economy. You're purchasing from these people who may not have been able to sell stuff for a very long time. PVC piping and netting and glue and all that stuff like that is what we need to put the filtration together. Like we actually have a candidate there right now, but they don't have any gutters because we installed the PVC piping and the filtration systems, but now we have to install a gutter. So they don't have the money. So again, I have area where the water will be collected. So we collect that water from the largest part of the roof, and then we send it to the tanks. I was even considering getting pumps to pump the water into the homes, but I think that might be a little pushing it because I'm just going to do the filtration system. It's getting real technical with the pumps. Purchasing pumps, the type of pumps, getting a plumber.
Right.
It's a little bit much. So I just want to do basic, put a tank outside for them and make sure the tank is on some Some of the tanks we gotta put on rocks. Some of the tanks we gotta make a cement stand so we could put the tank on top of it because it's water. We can't put wood, we can't put a couple rocks because it's gonna fall. It can probably hurt the kids. So we gotta put a cement base, then we put the plastic tank on top of it. The first step though is always making sure that after we put the filtration system from the roof, from the gutters to the roof, from the roof to the gutters, down to the filter, we let that drain out with the rain. The rain gotta wash out. Sometimes the sand is dirty, sometimes the charcoal is dirty. So we don't want that water getting into the tank. So we make sure that flow out first and clean out for like a couple of weeks, let that wash out. When it wash out, normally the homeowner would check it. And then the homeowner would let us know, okay, come and install the tank. Then we install the tank, we put a tap, and some of the taps, like you see, we have videos where they actually put a lock up. They put a lock on the tap because people will steal the water. Look at the videos, you'll see for yourself. So that's how important the water is.
Yeah.
If they gotta put a lock on a tank, that means that people can't get water. So that's one of the reasons why we created Ladder Rain. And I'm hoping that the Most High, not hoping, I know that the Most High is going to open up a way for us to get enough funding so we could help people, these people in Africa, in India, wherever the Most High send us. So that's really just a little brief information on how this got started.
Thank you.